Hi, Roxy. And this all started when, his comments became especially rampant and anti-Semitic. And so the Holocaust Museum Los Angeles extended an olive branch to Ye, formerly known as Kanye West, and said, come down here, see for yourself. They wanted to educate him because education is so important and his words have an impact, clearly. And we'll talk about the impact with the CEO, Beth Keane, who joins us live right now. Thank you so much for joining us. We know that you guys reached out to Kanye first. Before we get into it, can you tell us what he said, how you know he denied your request, and then what happened afterwards?
It was so important for Holocaust Museum LA to make a statement as soon as we saw Kanye's anti-Semitic statements and invite him to the museum. And we wanted him to come here to learn the facts, learn the truth about the Holocaust and where hate speech and prejudice can lead. And unfortunately, Kanye rejected our offer. His response was his Holocaust is Planned Parenthood, and he said that on a podcast.
And so we were talking about earlier the events of this week, the banner on the 405, the hateful flyers distributed in parts of West Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, Bel Air. How has that kind of played a role in what people are saying to you?
I think when we first heard Kanye's comments, people were disgusted and upset. And then over the weekend, we saw the banner that said Kanye was right about the Jews, and then the propaganda pamphlets on people's front lawns. And people started becoming afraid of what's happening. And Kanye needs to understand that words matter. Words have consequences. And when you have a huge platform like Kanye, he can fuel the hate so easily.
And this is personal for you.
That's correct. My grandparents were Holocaust survivors, so I take something like this very personally. My grandmother had a number permanently seared into her arm, 79335, that I'll never forget. And she watched her own parents and siblings walk straight into the gas chambers. So that's why it's so important. Holocaust Museum LA's mission is to inspire humanity through truth and education, and people need to come here to really understand the lessons from the Holocaust, because it needs to stop happening. The Holocaust started with words.
So when we talk about what the world can do, how they can respond, Ye's been dropped from Adidas, Gap, Balenciaga, his talent agency CAA. Just recently, LA Rams star Aaron Donald and Boston Celtics forward Jaylen Brown both announced their departures from his Donda sports agency. Do you think that that is what needs to happen at this point?
Absolutely. That needs to happen. Everyone needs to drop Kanye, stop listening to his music. When someone like Kanye has 30 million followers on social media, that's twice as many Jews that there are on Earth. He has a lot of control and influence, and so the more people and businesses that drop Kanye, the better, because that sends a really important message.
And quickly, last question is just what can people watching do to combat anti-Semitism?
Well, it's really important. People need to remember that we need to build bridges, not break them down. We need to embrace people's cultures and religions and not be divided. And we need to speak out when we see something wrong. And we encourage people to come to Holocaust Museum LA, come see our artifacts, and that speak the truth, so people can really understand where hate speech and prejudice and racism can lead to. The Holocaust and the death camps did not just fall from the sky overnight. There were a lot of events that happened that allowed something like that, to occur. So it's really important for people to understand the facts and the truth.
Beth Keane, CEO of Holocaust Museum LA, thank you so much for your time and sharing your personal story. That is the latest from here, you guys. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
Christina, so important, because we hear the phrase all the time, never again, but never again doesn't mean anything when you see things happening right now in today's time.
Yeah, but seeing the big response from everyone and how people are speaking out gives some people I've spoken to hope that maybe, that can be what makes this different and stop from repeating in the future, because people are saying this is not okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Christina, thanks so much. Appreciate it.